resistance.
What's up, everyone? It's Tin Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance here on TWBRN. In tonight's video, we're going to talk a little bit about feminism in movies, and this is more in regards to a video article that was posted by No Bullshit titled "Terminator Goes All Female Despite Ghostbusters in Ocean's 8 Failing." And in this video, they are discussing how the movie industry and even this article seems to be pro-feminism and anti-men. And I'm going to go ahead and close my screen so that we can see more than Genevieve's eyes. Now, we sat here and watched this video. Grandmaster Evan laughed his ass off. And Genevieve...
I know he farted, though.
Yeah, and Genevieve about crawled through the screen and viciously murdered everybody. Because the video pissed her off that much. Now, Genevieve, what pissed you off about this video?
Well, first off, I agree with him. Honestly, I didn't even know about the Ocean's 8 thing. I didn't know about that. Secondly, the Ghostbusters female one, the guy completely missed the point of it. It was meant as a comedic parody, not as a feministic crap. Now, the women in there, yes, Chris Hemsworth was sexualized and all that other stuff, but that's exactly what men do, okay? But yet everyone's losing their freaking minds because women did it. It's like, okay, so what? What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander?
Apparently.
Is there like some sort of mortal sin for women to sexualize men?
Well, if you go by the Bible, yeah.
Well, where I see it is that they didn't really stick to... Well, it's supposed to be a reboot with all 4 men in it. But they didn't stick to the first installment, which was how it led up to becoming the Ghostbusters.
Well, even the original Ghostbusters. Well,
they were meaning it as a parody, not as something as, oh, women can do everything men can. No, it was meant as a comedic parody. With what's his name?
Comedic parody
Bill Murray out the window. Because he was the Ghostbuster that was sexualizing women. So why not have a ghost throw him out? They were basically saying that sexualizing either gender is bad.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people are having the problem. You know, it's not okay for men to do it, but yet in this venue, when given the platform, women turned around and did it. Yet when men do it, they have a bitch fit. It has been a huge double standard, especially in media. And I think the biggest problem that people have is the big question: why is it okay or not okay in one venue, but okay or not okay in another?
I'm usually on the round table with you guys, and it's usually just guys and one woman. Yes, you guys joke around and make sexual jokes and stuff like that, but yes, in a way, it is sexualizing you, which is what a lot of feminists see if they watch this video.
Yes.
You know, if they watch any of the videos, they think, oh, they're sexualizing her. No, I go along with it, and I come right back to you guys and sexualize you guys as well. Except for Zero, because, well, I'm scared of him.
Yeah, well, Zero could be very scary at times, I'm sure.
Like, for me personally, I don't see anything wrong with sexualizing either gender. I really don't, because we do it in everyday life. Men and women, they do it to each other, especially when they're friends. There's not really anything wrong with it in my personal perspective. But the feminists, they say, oh, it's horrible, And then the men, they turn around and they're like, oh, it's horrible when women do it. Why? Why is it so terrible?
Well,
don't both
if you
genders
think about the
accept?
movies that in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, they just want to take the movie itself and say something that's what's wrong with it. I mean, it's like with the Black Panther. I went and saw it with my son, and I thought it was a great cast, great. I mean, just put together just right people, right cast, great concept, great storyline, great beginning, middle, ending, plot. Everything's good. Loved it. And yeah, there was some CGI, but I saw past that. It was a really good movie, and they just tried to make it politicized because of, hey, look, if the movie throw all this such stuff out the window.
Yeah, leave the politics out of it.
And just sit down and watch the goddamn good movie.
Yeah, and I think that's where the biggest problem is.
That's originally what movies were meant to be. That's exactly what Hollywood started the picture movies for, was an escape from all of the turmoil and the politics and the wars and stuff like that. It was meant as an escape, not as a way to voice your political views. No, it was meant as an escape. It was meant as entertainment.
Keep on talking.
Yeah. Batman would like to interject here. Say, people on both sides of the issue said the same thing about Star Wars 8, and then you actually watch the movie and none of that's even in the movie. But they blew that way in a lot of proportion.
I've also saw an article. Does anybody, like, Grandmaster brought up Black Panther? Anybody remember the female warrior? They're talking about, instead of feminism, to bring in lesbianism to films now.
There was the Xena Warrior Princess back in the day, back in the 90s. Boy, without
Shut up! Shut up!
She was super attractive.
I mean,
Xena was super attractive. Xena was super attractive. She was a badass. She turned down every male's advance, even freaking Ares in the cartoon version, the god. She turned him down. And that really spoke to a lot of young girls, was that you don't need a man. You don't. If you want to be independent, you want to go and do things, you want to go and fight for whatever justice, you can. You don't have to have a man's approval, which is fine. But now they're trying to make that thought process, that little itty thing, into this big, humongous thing, and they're making everyone get pissed off and bent out of shape. And it's like, why? Why are you guys doing this to something that was meant to bring young girls into the realization that they have every right to be independent?
That's like with Wonder Woman. I mean, it's a good. I mean, I think it's, and the way it looks like it's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
Based on a comic book character, and I mean, they're trying to sexualize these characters in movies. I mean, hey, it's a whole new era now. It ain't the 40s anymore. I mean, comic books back in the day were like today's video games. Okay.
Yeah.
My God, it's going to ruin our youth. Suck my dick. It's not going to ruin anything. Okay?
Yeah. Our biggest problem. Oh, now we got to be laughing. Yeah.
Big games is not going to ruin anybody's youth. Hey, I remember I read comics as a kid. I was fine. I played video games. I'm fine. He's fine.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem that we have.
What the fuck?
I think the biggest problem that we have in media right now with this whole thing is, I think it's deliberately trying to pick a fight. Everybody is trying to pick a fight. Everybody's trying to be in it.
In a fight, in a kind of fight, they will lose. Every corner, they will lose. Every corner, they will lose.
And the problem is that we're in the middle of a fight that that has rules against everybody. But technically, whenever it comes to the rules, they apply it on us instead of this because they can strongly hate.
Yeah.
But as long as people, it's fine.
And I noticed that with the quote left.
Violence, they should be promoting violence.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot with the left is that it's their way or the highway. The left, need to have their voice, but anybody else who presents any form of opposition or difference of opinion needs to be silenced. And we've addressed this before in the past on many videos.
The left's been hijacked.
Yeah, well, a big problem that we have with this whole media thing is feminism and sexuality is taking over in venues that it shouldn't. It should be a neutral platform where everybody can participate. But feminism has gone from equal rights for women to essentially
also
the domination over men. It seems to be the ideology of the feminist movement nowadays that men need to be removed across the board. And I have to ask why.
I don't understand why, because of the fact, I mean, honestly, if we were to do exactly what the Amazonians do, the real life ones, and just remove men completely, sooner or later, the population is going to flounder. It's going to end up ending. Regardless of us having sperm banks, it doesn't matter. Sooner or later, that shit runs out, and sooner or later, it all ends up going to hell. So we need men. Not in the sense of depending on them, but in the sense of men and women need, like, the feminists need to, they need to end up, they need to coexist. And the feminists, if they had their way, they would just annihilate men completely, and that's just stupid. Why? Why would you annihilate men altogether?
I'm not saying that all feminists are like that, but as far as what's being propagated to the public eye, that seems to be the case.
Not all of them are bad. It's just the ones that, I mean, they're a level, they're at a feminine level where they're ruining auto racing. Okay, for example, in New Zealand or Australia, there's this auto racing league where at the time they had beautiful women wearing these tight outfits, wearing the patches of the
their respective team, yeah.
and somebody outspoke saying, well, this is making women look so whatever. I mean, basically just say, well, women are being sexualized, so no. So they basically fired these women who did this for years and years and years, and they had no problem with it. They know what they're doing. Because the one twat stain has talked, well, you're making women what?
Well, it goes back to what Genevieve was saying, you know. Everybody sexualizes everybody, regardless of gender. Why do people have to make it such a big deal? And why is it okay for one party not to do it? Why is it okay to contest somebody for doing it and then turn around and do it yourself, which is what has been happening in media as of late in particular. And as far as Ghostbusters is concerned, I think it was a stupid movie. It really was. But then again, you know, regardless of who was cast in it or the reasons that they made the film, even the original writers, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, so on and so forth, even stated themselves that they couldn't even capture lightning in a bottle twice. The original Ghostbusters was a masterpiece. And even the sequel that had the original cast in it couldn't fucking hold the candle to the original. And that's why Ghostbusters 3 was on hiatus for so long, was because Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray couldn't get on the same page as far as a compelling script that could deliver that could deliver on screen. Yeah, well, yeah, they were all working on the script, but they couldn't come up with anything that was worthy of the Ghostbusters brand. I mean, Ghostbusters 2 was a good movie, but it pales in comparison to Ghostbusters 1. And if you're going to come back...
See, personally...
Yeah, if you're going to come back after 2 decades, nearly 3 decades, and say, hey, let's make another movie, I mean, you got to be up to freaking par. And that's why the movie was on hiatus. And then...
See, personally, I actually like the one, because it honestly, in my opinion, it showed exactly what women think whenever they're around an attractive man. Those women just weren't afraid to say it out loud.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was freaking hilarious. I absolutely adored it. At first, I didn't think I was going to like it because I was like, no, you can't have female Ghostbusters. No, you can't have that. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is actually really freaking funny.
See, I really wasn't entertained.
And I loved it.
I really wasn't entertained by the new Ghostbusters. I do own it. It's part of my collection, but I didn't find it funny. It was just, for me, it was way underdone. I think maybe casting was an issue. Definitely screenwriting was a major issue. I think it was just a cheap cop-out. Let's get a Ghostbusters reboot with women out there. I think they did it for a lot of the wrong reasons, and they rushed through, and they did a really shitty fucking job as far as the storytelling and casting were concerned.
That's like if they did a reboot of Fast Furious of all females and shit.
Well, I mean, any movie can be a good movie.
We don't know if it's big or not. I mean,
yeah, any movie can be a good fucking movie. Let's talk about Terminator, since that was the initial premise of that article anyway. The Terminator franchise, the original 1984 theatrical release, was a great film. Nearly a decade later, Terminator 2 surpassed the original. Most sequels pale in comparison to the original, but Terminator 2 was one of the few sequels that actually not only met the original, but surpassed it by a mile. And it's because they took their time and did it right.
All different kinds of types of them.
Yeah.
I mean, after the first, second, and then the third one, it was all amazing. And then, after that, they started making the show, and they started making other things about it. And it's like, no. I mean, in my personal opinion, it was the same thought process that I had for Freddy and Jason and Michael Voorhees and all that other stuff. It's like,
Michael Voorhees!
Just let it end.
Michael Myers, Eddie.
It's just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care.
Reboots,
Voorhees, whatever.
Yeah, reboots.
Or Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, whatever. I don't care. The point is that it's so freaking stupid that they kept going.
I just seen the trailer for the Halloween film.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so sick of Halloween films.
Well, this one here is kind of like totally out of the timeline, and we all know what happened from the first to the. I mean, how many were there within the last 40 years?
I've honestly lost count. I don't. It's been so long and they've made so many. It's ridiculous. And I'm not opposed to reboots. The Halloween reboot that Rob Zombie did was excellent. The reboot of Friday the 13th was excellent. The Nightmare on Elm Street, it was good for what it was. It definitely was not up to par with Robert Englund's performances as Freddy Krueger.
No,
but it was. It was a good take on it. And
yeah, it was. It was. But the thing is, you try to emulate what the original had, But if you try to do it that way, you are going to totally flat fall on your face.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people are having their problems. You know, you got all these reboots happening with all-female casts, such as Ghostbusters, Ocean's 8, now Terminator. You're just taking the original, slapping women into the lead roles, and you're not really developing it. You're not telling a different story. You're not trying to make it a compelling movie, whether it be a reimagining, a spin-off, or a sequel. You're not putting forth the effort into it. You're just slapping in a female cast into what was a predominantly male genre for the sake of appeasing a feminist movement that says men are useless and need to be X'd out. I think that's where a lot of people are having their issue, and I think it's being done to propagate a fight.
I'm not saying anything.
I don't like the feminists regardless. I really don't. And I'm a woman. I absolutely hate the feministic movement. I hate it. It's stupid.
You want to know how to get their attention? Call them a cum catcher. That'll get their attention.
Oh, we could sit here and, quote, objectify Genevieve right now. It's like, hey, Genevieve, jump up and shake your titties on camera for us. Yay! And if she did it, that would really piss off everybody. That would really piss off feminists.
Because
and Genevieve would laugh.
Because I did what you guys said.
Yeah. Not only would you probably do it.
I would laugh about it too, even if I was to do it.
Yeah. I see you doing it just to piss them off, and would laugh about it.
The Terminator movie. It looks like they're remaking John Connor's teenage years, because technically, in the timeline where we're at now, if everybody's been paying attention, John Connor should be in the process of conception and birth and being born and everything now, because of Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor re-meeting up in the original timeline on an alternate timeline.
No, what is happening here is what the initial reports were is the rights are getting ready to revert back to James Cameron for the franchise, at which point he wants to undo everything that came after Terminator 2. He wants to reboot the franchise post Terminator 2. He wants to pick up where Terminator 2 left off and do it right in his image. That was the initial report, and now we've got this report saying it's going to be a pro-feminism movie with an all-female cast, fuck men, blah, 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 as what's being propagated. But here's my thing. The Terminator franchise as a whole has catered to women being badasses.
Nice.
Even in the original, despite Kyle Reese being Sarah's protector, she fucking was the one that defeated the T-800 by crushing it in the hydraulic press. Terminator 2, Linda Hamilton came back as Sarah Connor and was a fucking gun-toting badass who fucking broke out of a mental institution, squared off one-on-one with a liquid metal Terminator, and even sought to kill Miles Dyson, the creator of Skynet. She was a fucking badass in that film. Terminator 3, you had a female Terminator that was a fucking badass. You had John Connor's significant other, Kit Brewster, who was a fucking badass, and in my opinion, trumped Connor's character, because in my opinion, in that film, Connor was pretty much a bitch.
Yeah.
And Kit Brewster was quite literally a fucking badass. Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, a lot of the feminists don't like the third Terminator because of the female Terminator. She sees that bill, the woman that has the big boobs, and then in order to get the cop to let her off with a warning or whatever, she increases her chest size. And it's like, seriously?
Well, here's the argument I present to that. Read the fucking book. In the book, the official Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines novelization, the Terminatrix seduces the police officer into following her to a dark alley, at which point she dismembers him, takes his gun, among other weapons. She completely destroys this cop.
Yeah.
She lures him into a trap and completely destroys him, and takes all of his weapons for her arsenal in order to facilitate her mission.
So that's because of her doing that. Like, we got it. Women have the equipment, so why not use it?
Yeah, and isn't that a lot of what feminists argue as well? That very argument, Genevieve?
They usually argue that they shouldn't have to use what, like, their body in order to get what they want. They think it should just be handed to them. It's like, no, that's.
They can argue until they're blue. They can argue until they're blue in the twat. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not made. That's not the way we're hobby. Or we don't need it. These can do it because.
Yeah, it is completely ridiculous. And even in future Terminator films such as Genevieve. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Genevieve. You were cutting in and out. I couldn't even tell whether or not you were talking.
I know. I'm in my living room, so I don't have very good Wi-Fi connection. But you know, if women were, honestly, I don't see any problem with women using their bodies to get where they really don't. Because if you want something and you want it bad enough, you're going to do what you need to do in order to get it.
Yeah, pull out all the stops.
And that's the same with any gender.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the same with any gender.
And in that contrast, I'd say that women have the tactical advantage there.
Yep.
We do.
I mean...
We do, because we got these things at the freaking hole between our legs.
Yeah. Holy shit, Robbie! What up, dude?
Oh, hey, brother.
What's up, guys? That was a very, very random spot to come into. All I hear is hole between your legs.
We're talking about feminism in media outlets. Specifically, what we're talking about right now is new Terminator film is reported to be an all-female cast propagating feminism and
which
the elimination of men.
I honestly think it's wrong and a blasphemy to the Terminator series. It is a blasphemy to it, and it should never happen.
And I'm
a woman saying that.
I agree with you, but you also got to think the world we live in. I mean, they've done it with the fucking Ghostbusters. They've done it with Ocean's 11.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that.
Yeah, they're trying to give women equal rights again and everything, and make them equal.
We have our own freaking superheroes. We have Wonder Woman. We have Supergirl. We have Batgirl. We have Catwoman. I mean, come on.
You also have.
Or what more do we need?
You also have the red
Shadowcat.
Yeah, I mean
you have a lot in different genres.
Movies all day.
Here. Laura Croft.
Here's the issue with that fact. Yeah, you have all of these female stars, all of these small superheroes, everything. But the issue here is, and the reason why they're doing what they're doing, is up until recently, they were seen in the shadows of the male superheroes. They were seen as lesser than. It hasn't been until the last few years where Wonder Woman has been able to actually basically hold Superman and Batman on his back, because that's exactly what she's doing in that freaking universe. Her movie is really the only good one out of all.
But why not, instead of taking over these male movies that are freaking classics and everybody, and I do mean almost everybody, absolutely adores them, men and women alike. Hold on. Like, instead of going and taking over those movies, why not bring our other female superheroes and stuff forward and give them their own movies instead of taking over something else?
Like that
Give those.
too.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, give those ones and bring them to light and let everyone say, hey, there are these. There's Domino, there's Black Cat, there's Storm, there's
she's supposed to get her own film.
Phoenix. I hope so. There's so many other female heroes and villains that can have their own freaking movies instead of women taking over the other movies that are freaking loved and classics. It's stupid. There's no point to it. No one's gonna like them. So why do it?
Yeah.
It's been a proven fact here lately too. Nobody likes those fucking movies. Fucking Ghostbusters bombed hard.
Well,
I like the 8 bombed hard.
Yeah.
Freaking.
I didn't know that Ocean's 8, but I personally like the female Ghostbusters one because I saw it as a comedic parody. I didn't see it as them redoing it. I saw it as a comedic parody because it was freaking funny.
We just censored by a combination to Ryan Reynolds, and we are back now.
Welcome back to the party.
I don't see the point. I really don't see the point of feminists taking over the male-oriented movies. I don't see the point. There's no point to it. No one's going to buy them. They're not going to make any money. It's going to be just, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It makes me angry.
What it is that they're thinking they're going to make all this money. Because
not going to make a dime.
Now, each movie has a budget. They're trying to within the budget of the film, and then try to make what they made back through the sales of tickets and shit. Which probably ain't gonna happen.
Now, my question is, with this new Terminator film that's coming out, is Arnold even involved in it at all?
Yes. What I hear is that Arnold is involved in it, probably recapping his original role. I don't know anything about the story or who all's going to be in it.
See, I don't understand why Arnold would lower himself to that level of stupidity. I honestly think it's 100% stupid. They're not going to make very much. It's going to be the same thing with Ghostbusters.
The studio is paying him. It has nothing to do with the budget of the film. It's what the studio itself.
What they're paying him.
Yeah.
You gotta remember,
it doesn't matter how much the movie makes. What matters is that he gets paid.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
As soon as he got out of his government position, he started making movies again. And if you've noticed, all of his movies are fucking crap. All right. But he's trying to reestablish himself in a media.
That's not true. Expendables was really good. Expendables was really good. I like Expendables. No, he was in it though.
For a grand total of 5 minutes.
Yeah, and he also had to share the limelight with the likes of Stallone and others.
But still,
and he was the butt of the joke in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so was Chuck Norris.
There was like maybe 6 scenes in the 2 movies he was actually in, I believe.
But Chuck Norris was the butt of a bunch of jokes, and so was Stallone, especially Mel Gibson. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, he was the butt of a lot of the jokes.
They were all in the movie for an
and even Jean-Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
these were movies full of action
and pop shots at each other
from the 80s and 90s, thrown together. Trying to, they've been trying to do this for a long time.
Yeah. And of course, they're going to take pop shots at each other.
30 years, you had Stone and Schwarzenegger, who were the 80s rivals and shit. Because, you got Rambo and Conan, and you had, and then you had Judge Dredd and Terminator. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, then there was also, the one thing that I think they should have done is they should have had, along with Jean-Claude, I think they should have had, Steven Seagal. They should have had Seagal in there as a villain as well.
No.
I know Sean. I know Sean. I know Jean and Sylvester, or not Sylvester, but I know Steven and Jean would have, they've already gotten into a fight so many years back, and granted, Steven did win that.
The sad part is freaking Jean-Claude actually lost that fight.
I know. I was actually really happy about that. But then Seagal came out with Belly of the Beast. I was like, oh hell no! You did not just lower yourself to be a fucking pedophile for a goddamn movie.
See, that's the problem. You know, anybody will do anything for a buck.
Yeah, look at Heath Ledger and what's his face. You know, they were both taken in the ass for a buck.
Yep. Chocolate pudding, anybody?
I never saw that movie, but I heard from a lot of my female friends that it was friggin' hilarious.
All you need to know is it's two cowboys eating pudding. Two cowboys eating pudding. That's all you need to know.
Who say two cowboys eating pudding?
Two gay cowboys eating pudding.
No, it's more like fucking fudge.
Funky fudge. It had peanuts in it.
Ah!
Wow.
Okay, I actually have seen the movie because I was been living in a gay household for a decade, so I've actually seen the movie.
You beat off to it, didn't you?
No.
That was that was using that note. Like,
no. Only on Tuesdays.
How quickly it came out. There was no thought behind that shit.
No. You know,
So a little tangent though. What does everybody think about the link that I actually posted earlier about the whole them putting our consciousness into clones?
It just basically proves what I've been saying for a decade, that I've been put into an extremely bad clone of my original body, and they've actually perfected it. Now we can continue.
I wonder if that might be true for me.
I don't know, man.
But I honestly...
I don't know. Given how hot you are, I'm kind of curious to see the original product.
Well, if they did bad for Zero here, then they obviously did even worse for me, because, yeah.
I don't know.
My transition process between body to body was quite painful.
I don't remember it, if that did happen.
If they fixed all the problems, it might be quite useful.
Well, I guess now it's you have a little chip that they implant to the back of your skull and everything, and when you're ready, whenever you want, you can go in and have yourself switched out and everything. They take that chip, put it in the other, you die, and now your consciousness is in another body.
So basically, they figure out a way. They're trying to perfect a way for everlasting life.
Immortality.
Yes, immortality in a sense.
Leave that to the vampires.
They call it sleeves. What got me the most was they called them sleeves instead of meat suits.
Leave that.
I noticed that too.
I tell you what, every clone, please have my beard when I die. I want to have a beard when I come back.
I don't even know where to go on this.
If I ever actually go through with that, I want to be put into a meat suit. I'm going to call it what it is a damn meat suit. I want to be put into a meat suit that has a super high metabolism that never gains any weight no matter what I eat.
Gonna need some of my genetics for that one, honey. No matter what I eat, I cannot fucking gain weight.
I used to be that way, and then I had my son.
Have you ever tested for a tapeworm, Chris?
Yes,
well, I have
I've
the
had a
problem
physical.
of keeping my weight up is the problem. I'm a garbage disposal, but I have the problem that I have to be starving before I can actually consume anything. Because if I just eat something because I think I'm hungry, I will actually back half of to 3/4 of it back up. Unless I am on the verge of starving. I have to go like 10 hours to 12 hours without eating. Then I can become a garbage disposal for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. And then I can't eat any fucking more.
Yeah,
Remind me to never take you to Golden Corral or Hometown Buffet.
Yeah, my problem is I've got hyperthyroidism. My thyroid is extremely overactive, basically turning my body into a souped up car running on NOS instead of gasoline.
I wouldn't say NOS, but more like alcoholic fuel with meth injection.
I live off energy drinks most times.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So
come to think of it, back when Tin Man and Robbie first met me, I was drinking energy drinks like they were freaking soda.
I still do.
I had to stop because I got pregnant. I had to stop.
I mean, you know that you drink energy drinks too much when you go to take a piss and it's almost green.
I live off of beer fart and queef biscuits.
Oh, God.
why would you go there? So, what can we do to piss off the feminists today? Besides Genevieve playing with her pussy on camera.
Comic cum catcher.
Yes, Genevieve is playing with her pussy on camera. This is plenty enough to piss off the feminists.
I'm a little baby pussy, and I'm soft and squishy.
They
Hey,
are.
and here, let's piss off the animal rights activists too. Get me a microwave.
No, I love Buster. He's too.
That beaver abuse.
I'll stick you in the microwave, Tin Man.
Feminists
I've
can
tried.
fit-
I already did. Look at him.
Put Tin Man inside the microwave because the aluminum foil goes pop, 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 pop inside the microwave.
Feminists can
That will
fit
start
in-
to argue
fit into their
easily.
room and swap.
It says.
What?
I had another cigarette in a pack. Where'd it
That's
go?
a catch-22 in Ocean's 11.
I don't know. The answers to your questions. Oh, there we go, pissing off the feminists again.
They could get pissed. He's cute. See? I'll even put him closer. See? He's so adorable.
A close-up of Genevieve's pussy on camera. Let's really piss off the feminists.
They can be pissed off until their blood is swapped.
I agree. He's too cute to not show.
And I'd also honestly think that's probably another reason why they're doing these remakes, is to keep the feminist activists happy, because of the sheer fact that they don't know how to.
Number one in the world.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and this is probably gonna piss them off, but them fucking cunts ain't never gonna be happy, no matter what you do for them.
Yeah.
They're one of those
Well,
bitches
those
you
cunts
can never
are
satisfy.
never happy.
Yeah.
So those fucking cunts need to get a blue dildo and go fuck themselves with it.
A blue one?
A blue spiked one with metal spikes.
No, dude, you don't want to make it blue, because all they're going to do is sit there and get pissed off and call you racist.
Okay, fine. Get a flesh-colored dildo with metal spikes sticking out
It's
of
got
it.
to be rainbow colored. It's got to be rainbow colored so it shows diversity.
Hey, tell them if they get a blue spiked one, that'll kill whoever's in first place.
I was gonna say just use a cactus, but
Problem solved.
Speaking of, hold on.
You know how you get all this pseudoscience? You start off a sentence with a hypothetical, and then guess what? You say whatever you want right afterwards. In my personal opinion, blah, 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 period.
okay. Well, in my personal opinion, I think Genevieve should show her tits just to piss off the feminists.
And in my personal opinion, you can go fuck yourself.
See, that's why I love this woman. She will fire right back. This is true women empowerment right here. Freaking on par.
Yes.
On fucking par. The man is not greater than the woman, and the woman is not greater than the man, as it should be.
Wait. Let me do the 1950s kind of thing. Ready?
Oh my
God.
God.
You go. There you go. I love it.
Piss off the feminists.
Look in the chat real quick.
What's in the chat?
Do I even dare to look?
Yes, make sure the camera on it at the same time.
Please, I want to see what these people say. What?
Oh my God, that is terrible.
It's exactly what you asked for them, Genevieve, except for it's not blue.
And it's not near a car battery either.
Well, it does have
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll do like 20.
As soon as he said Spike, I was like, oh shit. I've got a picture of this. Hold on.
He's like, hold on, I got something in my repertoire. He's like, I came prepared for this war.
The spikes do not curve forward or backwards. Okay.
Here, I'm gonna piss off the feminists even more. I'll be right back. I gotta go take a piss.
Hey, I'll join you.
Whip that dick out and take a piss.
Well, it looks like it has part that you could actually hook up to a car battery and shit.
Just clamp it. Just fucking dead.
Just clamp it.
They called it the cock lobster.
Cock lobster? What?
Oh my god.
It was a post that I saw on Facebook, and it was called the cock lobster.
The cock
but it wasn't a cock. Yeah, cock. You got. Wow.
Well,
Lobster. That'd be interesting.
You might as well throw away the chicken idea and just put in the lobster.
I'll get it. Only on Tuesdays.
Cock lobster and crab. What?
All right, I'm back.
Well, apparently that's something that men can do faster than women. Apparently men can go to the bathroom faster than a woman can, apparently.
So we got like,
yeah, they have to sit.
body urinals where they can stand up.
Stop it, Batman.
Oh my god. Oh, it was a close second. It was a close second.
What?
We have deduced that we have discovered something that men can do faster than women. Go to the bathroom faster than.
Wait, who did?
The race that you were unaware you were in.
Yes.
What race?
The pissing race.
Who was it racing against?
You and Zero went to the bathroom at the same time. Apparently, men can piss faster than women.
Yeah, because men don't have to wipe. Women do.
I knew that was her answer.
Yep.
I love this.
I even
give a
made
fuck
sure,
what
make sure there was a courtesy shake there so you'd have extra time.
If you shake it out twice, you're not playing with it.
Yeah. Shake it more than twice, you're playing with it, man.
No, you're not playing with it. You're just being extra careful and making sure you're clean.
Because I still feel a drop in there.
Well, you guys keep talking. It's my turn to take a piss.
That's why I shake it twice
youth
and
infection
squeeze
now.
out.
You get an extra squeegee and okay. I understand that.
I shake it twice and squeeze you out.
Wow.
Stop it, Rob.
That probably
I missed you guys. I really did. I missed you guys.
What is your guys' thoughts on the whole Omarosa bullshit thing, man?
The what?
The whole Omarosa bullshit.
Well, she was basically kind of in on it from the beginning, and she was a kind of covert agent that was had to activate when they gave Order 66, pretty much.
This is coming from Batman.
Maybe I should put that in English.
Is that Order 66?
Omarosa got fired.
My question was actually gonna be, what is it? Order 66 or Order 666?
Depends.
Oh my gosh, Batman did not dodge that.
No, I took it and absorbed it and have not yet thrown it back. That's what they will throw it back at. It's a combination of both, but really this thing was not, what it is. But she tried to have her wedding in Rose Garden, wanted to, be Miss Princess, and had special privileges, and not listen to the chief staff, and that it rubbed people the wrong way. She got shaky. That's something.
Goddamn Easter
Short of book full of crap.
Then she thought she was Michelle Obama and realized she wasn't.
Oh my goodness.
She was the Michelle Obama minus the dick.
Wow.
Ding ding! I knew the joke was coming.
See, my books are always writing just a bunch of crap, but everybody likes it. So,
Genevieve, you wonder why there's a cock on the weather vane?
I do not know.
Because if it was a cunt, we'll right through it.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, I just thought of something.
God. You thought.
Genevieve, you mentioned
I
earlier.
thought I saw something burning.
Yeah, I know, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. It's like, I can think! It's gone. But check this out. Genevieve, you were saying earlier that if feminism had their way, men would be completely removed from this world on a whole. At which point it would
resulting
lead to
to them being extinct.
At which point humanity would become extinct. Now,
Yes.
could their theology be? Because you see this a lot, especially in porn, the women who have dicks. And I'm not talking about trannies. I'm talking about, especially in, like, anime. Like, I know you're big into anime and shit.
More hermaphrodites.
That have both male and female genitalia. Vaginas and penises. Do you think that maybe this movement might, if it hasn't already begun, go down the path of creating a male-female hybrid?
Now remember, Tin Man chose not to equip the beard whenever he reached level 4.
So he found it after the battle.
She has a vagina, she has a vagina, tubes,
concept.
ovaries, but also has a cock and balls.
Well, okay, here's the thing. If women actually create a man-female hybrid,
Right, a room there.
this is where, my mind goes a little far-fetched, but when you think about it, it makes sense. What always happens when man creates something?
Goes horribly wrong.
Fuck up in some way, most of the time.
Okay, so if women, I'm not saying that they couldn't do it, but if women were to try to create a hybrid to continue the human race and everything, what's going to end up happening, in my personal mind, in my personal view, is that they're going to fucking kill all of the women and make themselves the
More than likely. Exactly. Because they have both.
Well, in my personal opinion, and maybe Batman can explain this in words, because all I can get is I see a vision of Cartman walking around Mars on that one South Park episode where men are more or less being milked.
That part is, I thought of Futurama.
Death by Snoo! I am down for it!
That was the first thought. Then I tried to get actually intellectual about this, and I went off on Cartman walking around Mars, going into the underground caves, and seeing men milked. For lack of a better term. Grandmaster made a noise, didn't he?
That was Rob.
That was Rob.
Rob.
A milking mixer.
But do you guys think that we're heading down that path, or will eventually head down that path?
No, I don't like it.
Well, I'm not asking
I don't.
not any of us like it, because I think we already know the answer to that. But do you think that it will eventually, if it hasn't already begun, heading down that way?
Not if I have anything to do with it. Once my son's 18, I have no problem with going up to those women who are planning on doing that and shooting them. For being stupid.
I doubt it. I doubt that will ever happen because it would
Because
take,
I won't allow it.
well, here's the thing is, okay, first, like cloning. How all work?
Hold on. Grandmaster just brought up a magnificent point. I thought cloning was illegal. What about this consciousness transferring into
Isn't
Isn't that considered a version of cloning?
Yes.
The thing is, okay, let me one here. in Star Wars, the Empire was trying to create a Star Killer and Darth Maul. Half Star Killer, half Darth Maul. And this thing was totally a disaster. So Vader killed this fucker because it was a bad science experiment that went wrong. But the whole hybrid thing, that would take at least a century or more to do that shit.
Well, you're talking in the Star Wars universe, you're talking about one alien species being genetically merged with another. We're talking about human with a human.
It's an example. If you decide to create a hybrid, okay, that would take a century to do that. A century to create a hybrid of a male and female. That would take forever to even perfect. Because science ain't
there are some that are coming out that are hermaphrodites where the parents choose whether or not to chop it or keep it. And then later down through life, the person decides whether or not to chop it or keep it. There are hermaphrodites out there that are scientifically plausible without surgical ingenuity.
Yeah, because they're born with both genitalia. And
usually the way that happens is it's twins, and before they have a chance to fully develop, they end up going into one.
Yeah, they don't wind up branching off.
Yeah, it's those paternal twins
point,
that have the ability to become hermaphrodites, not identical.
Yeah, so
exactly.
At which point we already do have the blueprint to create such a human being. All that requires is a little bit of modification to where the hermaphrodite has fully functioning genitalia on both ends.
And then all they gotta do is go fuck themselves.
Yeah, route the words right out of my head.
The problem with that is that it's basically the same thing as Jurassic Park. If you screw with the DNA of any creature, it's going to end up coming back and destroying you. No matter what. It's always going to come back on you.
Chaos theory life will find a way.
It all goes back to the fact that, you know, the reason why is because
your shit's cutting it out, Rob.
You can't control
Somebody got the auto tune on too much.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob's cutting it out bad. The problem with Jurassic Park was.
Never mind, rave hit.
Yeah,
with the auto tune.
The big problem with Jurassic Park was that they used the did they use the DNA of frogs to fill in the genes? And
I thought they used the DNA from a mosquito that bit something.
They used the DNA that they found in
filling in the holes with the African frog.
Yeah.
But that was probably
and the frog and some West African frogs, as they stated, have the ability to change sex from male to female.
Is that better?
In a female sex environment. Now, if you have a species that is both male and female, which aren't there some species out there that are both male and female?
Yeah, they can switch between batter and pitcher without having to identify the umpire.
Stop it!
Yeah.
I'm talking about that are actually both. Not switch between one sex and another.
You're talking about asexual creatures.
Yes.
There are no creatures that are both male and female. There are only creatures that have the ability to change from male to female and then back and forth. That's the only thing that there's out there. The human race is the only screwed up creature in this whole world that has the ability to be both male and female at the same time.
But in all actuality, you can't be male and female at the same time just because you have genetism.
Exactly.
talked about did.
No, but what I
Now,
was
there
trying to
are
say just a second ago, when I made that thing,
See, sorry.
you would be like that kill you. The reason why is you can control DNA, but you cannot control the predatory instinct of the creature that you just created.
Correct. You can't control
exactly.
the primal instinct of what you are fiddling with. You can't control what it will innately do from instinct whenever you spark with life and or consciousness, because life and consciousness are two separate entities.
That's why it
Stop it.
Okay, I just.
what is honorable?
Okay.
Which,
Check this out.
another part of that is that another part of that the primordial instinct is that what happens to a human, they have too much of two different hormones that are a major part. They just go crazy and start being irrational, and they either kill themselves or go and kill other creatures or beings.
Okay, check this out.
There is no way.
List animals that are hermaphrodites: snails, echinoderms, worms, fish, and that's about it. It looks like there are around 21 family fish that are natural hermaphrodites. And this includes snook, clownfish, wart, angelfish, groper, bobby, parrotfish, sea bass, and anus.
Survival. Okay? And then nature. Yeah? Always took my cue from nature. I realized some time ago that, I'm separate from nature.
So here he goes with that fucking demon voice.
And there goes Genevieve playing with her pussy again. Pissing off the feminists.
Give me a second, you guys. I need to go get my pop.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. The common for that is
terrorism. That'll give you an idea how much shit they have on the shelf. Okay. Like any good citizen, I'm ready with my suggestions. Now, first of all, overseas, in Afghanistan, I think you have to use the most powerful weapon you have. In this case, warfare of a type never used before. And I'm talking about the flatulent airborne reaction team.
yeah, that's a while.
Overweight male NFL football fans. Okay. I'm going to start with a nucleus of Giants fans and Jets fans. Let's start with that nucleus.
Watch a dirty baby diapers.
Dirty baby diapers. Because they probably just put it on their head. It's like, hey, thanks for the free hat.
Yeah, they put enough people on the head. Kind of.
Because I have a primate brain. Because underneath the primate brain is a mammalian brain, and beneath the mammalian brain is a reptilian brain, and it's those two lower brains that made the upper brain possible in the first place. Here's the way it works. The primate brain says, give peace a chance. The mammalian brain says, give peace a chance, but first let's kill this motherfucker. And the reptilian brain says, let's just kill the motherfucker, go to the peace rally and get laid.
I like the reptilian thought process.
To reproduce. Survival is more important than fucking.
Murphy.
Pacifism is a nice idea, but it can get you killed. We're not there yet, folks. Evolution is slow. Smallpox is fast, all right? Now, the government has asked all of us to come up with suggestions and ideas that we might have to help in the fight terrorism. That'll give you an idea how much they have just okay. Yeah. And like any good citizen, I'm ready with my suggestions. Now, first of all, overseas in Afghanistan, I think you have to use the most powerful weapon you have. In this case, chemical warfare of a type never used before. And I'm talking about the flatulent airborne reaction team. FARTR. Here's what you do. You take thousands of overweight male NFL football fans, okay? Thousands. We're going to start with a nucleus of Giants fans and Jets fans. You got to start with that. It might be necessary. It might be necessary to include some Bills fans and Eagles fans too, okay? This is war. Tuesday. And I'm also thinking about giving some of those big fat cocksuckers who root for the teams in the NFC Central, you know? Chicago Bears fans, Green Bay Packers fans, guys who eat a lot of bratwurst, okay? Guys have to be over 200 pounds. What you do is for 30 days, you put them on a diet of nothing but cheese, cabbage, and beer, okay? That's all I get for 30 days. For many of these men, this will not be a new diet. You fill them up with cheese and cabbage and beer, and you drop them into Afghanistan where they commence chemical warfare of the highest order. You send 3 fart swats into every cave and tunnel in Afghanistan.
Must be Walter's favorite guy.
Yep. Okay, so where do we want to go with this now?
Release horrendous, deadly virus.
Well, I came across this source earlier that I told you guys a little bit ago.
Let's hear it.
Okay, now Google admitted to following. Google admits tracking users even after they turn off location tracking. Okay. Google admits tracking users even after they turn off location tracking. Google provides its help page, verifying that it does not look at patient data to improve their experience. So it says bullshit. And facing criticism over reports that certain Google apps track users' whereabouts even when they turn off location data. The tech giant device its homepage clarifying that it does track location data in order to improve Google experience. Yeah, right. Previously, the help page stated you can turn off location history at any time. When location history is off, the place you will no longer stored. The says the setting does not affect any location service on your device, like the location service in my device. So location data may be saved as part of your activity on other services like search and maps. The new link concerns that location data is indeed being tracked by some Google apps. We have been updating a planetary language about location history to make it more consistent and clear across our platforms and health centers. The Senate reported on August 17th, quoting a Google spokesperson. The AP early this week ran a story saying an investigation found that many Google services on Android devices and iPhone 4 users location data, even if the users explicitly use a privacy setting forbidding that. Researchers from Princeton University confirmed the findings. In an early statement, Google has said location history is a Google product that is entirely opt-in, and users have the controls to edit, delete, or turn off at any time. As AP story notes, we make sure location history users know that when they disable the product, will continue to use location to improve the Google experience when they do things like performing a Google search or use Google for driving directions. But this application history doesn't solve the purpose in Google settings. Pausing web activity may do the trick. However, according to the information, Google Activities control page, even when this setting is paused, Google may temporarily use information permissionally searches in order to improve the quality of the active search session.
So basically, it's on no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how come you can have it on location or 911 only, because no matter what, you cannot turn off your GPS fucking signal.
It's a cute little puppy.
And here's the story. Chromebug allows hackers to find out everything Facebook knows about you.
Okay, sir.
And that is some Orwellian bullshit, my friend.
Yeah, I think the article title says a lot. Go into details, though.
I tell you, man, we're already in war, man.
That is a given.
I mean, I don't know how to actually perceive this, but honestly, I tell you what. Here we are in 1984, man.
Yep.
No bullshit.
Alright, Jerry.
I'm waiting for my side.
Oh, I got about this.
Kind of going to the whole Google tracking us and stuff like that. Did anybody else hear about the fact that Snowden might be dead?
No, I did not.
Did you hear about Snowden technically being dead, Batman?
I have not heard. I thought he said some important shit recently.
It hasn't been actually confirmed. Because basically he put out a tweet saying that the time has come, and then he put out a random text of a bunch of random letters and numbers, almost like code.
What?
He might not be dead. He might be sending a signal.
Right. That's what other people are saying. But a lot of people are thinking that he was sending out a code for people to decipher and everything just before he died. They're thinking that, you know, like the U.S. government finally found out what his location was, sent somebody over and killed him.
Huh. This year before we thought Assange was dead, and then he actually appeared.
Right.
To be honest, I mean, very honestly, guys, I don't think he's dead. Because that dude is being well protected by Russia, man. No fucking way, because Putin would allow that, man, big time. Because he's way too protected right now. He knows a lot of shit that happened, and he ain't dead.
Well, we can hope. Let's keep tabs on it.
We can get Snowden and Assange together.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Well, that's the thing. You know, if it is,
show you Assange before, you pop right the fuck back up. I say calm down so we really have some evidence of that.
right. And it's like, the thing is, if he is, you know, we're never going to hear about it.
No.
Unless
if we do, they'll put it out that he died of natural causes.
Or suicide. Or suicide.
Yeah. He committed suicide by 2 gunshot wounds to the back of the head.
Yeah, I mean, look at Daniel Webb, the reporter of the San Jose Mercury News. That dude, I mean, he went full bore got every story on the octopus and wrote a book about it. All of a sudden, breaking news: Daniel Webb committed suicide. How did he do it? 2 shots to the head. He failed one time. Boom. Did it again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you believe that? I got some swampland, I'll tell you.
It's like competing in Russian roulette in the Olympics. Only winning everyone did misfire.
Like there was another one that I just saw. I can never remember this fucker's name, but he was a TV radio show host. He was the one that me and you were talking about him not too long ago, Curtis. He was the one that a person called in saying that he was a former employee of Area 51. Everything down.
Who's that radio show host that was on that Tool song that he's talking about? Because I'm calling in, they can triangulate this signal at any time, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom!
The guy always dealt with the paranormal and the aliens.
Okay.
We're not talking George Norrie or something, are we?
That would be. He just died.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He just passed away.
What, the radio talk show host? Or
Yeah.
the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of speculation on his death too.
Wow.
The radio talk show host that the guy called into on that specific Tool song, and we've heard the other side of the interview after the generator on. I've heard both sides of that interview because it's a Tool song the first half, and then whenever they come back with the generators on, I've actually heard that segment as well.
You'll have to educate me that later when we have more time.
And in my personal opinion, I think the voices sound different. Like something happened between the time that first segment went on and the second segment.
I think let me find here.
Because he started being more covert on what he was saying instead of directly saying extra dimensional beings that can triangulate on our system. Like something smacked him in the face, and then he started talking in code.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet death threat?
Let's see.
Like me and you talked about this YouTube channel, the Secure Team 10. He did a video about it, and the fact of him dying was like, I guess the day before he went to the doctor and he was given a perfect bill of health, and then the next day he's dead.
Yep.
Wow, somebody just phantomly turned off our call.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like when you talked about everything shutting down, something like that, our shit shut down right when he said shut down.
Well, what you want me to go level 3 and
Art Bell
holding back
to
like
they got to think Art Bell.
Art Bell.
That's out of existence.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, Batman.
I'm sorry for that outburst.
I apologize, everyone.
No, somebody who served in the Reagan administration for 8 years and had, I think, the highest clearance.
That would be Art Bell. It was a 97. It was 97. It was
Yeah, not George Norrie, but the other guy. Yeah.
Art Bell. Okay, so they believe this is not the same person. Others believe it is the same person, but he was getting forced to make it look fake, so the government never get questioned.
Downplay it to
We're
avoid
getting
suspicion.
censored big time.
Yeah, we're getting fucked with right now, guys.
Yeah. So let's change the subject so that we don't get messed with. So,
Hi, Art. This is Brian.
you guys hear that
You didn't disconnect me
Evanescence
before, did you?
and Lindsey Sterling did a
You wanna know
cover
your
of
tonight?
No More Tears?
Towards the end of the last hour, you said
It pissed me off.
air, and your voice
I
was
was so
immediately
mad.
replaced by the operator saying your party has not connected. Well, see, as you can now tell, I don't screen calls. So what happened, obviously, was that I answered the phone just at the very instant that you had been ringing as long as they were going to let you ring. Yeah. And so that occurs obviously sometimes I go to a line and
we lost Zero.
Nobody's there, and that's what's happened. You know, we just were on the cusp there. Anyway, I'm glad I made it back through. Yeah, you got all my paranoia buttons out of the way. I was just very nervous when I call you. I'm Ryan. I hung up on you last week. I see. And I just figured, damn the torpedoes. I'll just do this and let the ships fall where they will. All right. Everybody, I'm the Area 51 caller. That's my statement, and let you or whatever tear it apart.
Someone call in.
All right, go ahead, pause it.
I am the man. How do you account for the fact, Area 51 caller? Okay, that part of the way through your spiel, it sounded like one day. I have no idea, and it scared me to be down that night. I've called a number of times on your specialty line nights doing different kind of wacky characters, and that's all that one was supposed to be. And if the call had been completed, it would have been ancient history by now. How did it occur to you, as Barbara Marx Hubbard suggested tonight, that perhaps, if you're really what you say you are, the reality of the rest of the situation and took down my satellite? That scares the heebie-jeebies out of me, because it means that what I was saying was somehow correct and was fabrication, kind of creating a reality. Yeah, if that was the case, I humbly apologize to you, because I love your show, and the last thing I would ever want to do is not bring all the air. So, what can I do to prove my claim here? Well, I guess you could give us a little of what you gave us then, so that we could hear it and know it to be you. Are you sure you want me to do that, Art? I'm positive. No, Art, please. I don't want you to ask me to do this. If I start doing
Yeah, I think somebody was going to kill him.
I think so too.
All right, guys.
Zero
one. Okay, well, what we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now. No, they're not doing anything. They're not. They want those major population centers wiped out, so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable. Yes, Jack.
Good man.
Yeah.
Add Ezra.
Because Zero and Ezra are like, Ezra can't see the call going on. We're being sent to like a tomorrow.
You're right about that. Now, let's just take that little sample that you just gave us, so that we don't alter some sort of hard reality. Here at the end of the program, and we'll let the callers be the judge. Okay. All right. I thank you for this opportunity. This has just been driving me bananas.
Hey, brother.
And, I didn't know what you wanted me to do. I knew it was very difficult for me
Soros.
To you.
Yeah.
We were Soros.
Thank you for your patience and
Yeah.
dealing with me at this time. All right. Thank you. Fritz in Texas, am I right? Oh, and oh yes, that's him. Somebody else said, oh no. Now he has done his little Area 51 caller emo, or the real thing, depending on what you think. And so we'll leave it all to you. Is what you think.
Yeah, he seemed pretty upset during that call.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone, like he knew that someone was listening and watching him that could end his life.
You need glasses. So what happened to living?
Yeah, so the caller is dead or the radio show host is dead?
Radio show host, from my knowledge.
I believe
Snake!
Okay,
Yay!
Hardcore died in that office.
Male or female?
That's a female.
how about that?
She's beautiful! Oh, she's gorgeous!
Yes, it is a
She's beautiful.
she just
She's still beautiful regardless.
yes, she's got a very pretty even pattern.
Oh.
Hey, what are we doing?
We started out talking about feminism and then we went to extra dimensional beings.
That's a jump.
Like so.
Well, we were being censored because I was pissing off the feminists with playing with my cat, and the boys and I were saying that I was playing with my pussy and stuff like that. So we kind of pissed off the feminists, so we were being censored about that. And then we went to the extra dimensional beings, and then we were being censored for that. So
Is that on live?
And we all know that they could be.
We were censored.
Now we all know that feminists are going to get so angry they're going to get blue. They're going to get blue in the twat.
They're gonna they're gonna get blue balls.
Blue twat.
Blue lip.
Lip.
Blue lady Majora.
Yeah, they're probably gonna. That girl boobs are too big.
it's not my fault. It doesn't have any right news, okay?
Through beak and lips, they're going to get pissed.
I don't mind big tits. I like big tits.
I like big tits and I cannot lie. I like them in her eye.
You know, just don't jump up and down. You'll hurt yourself.
These are the same people we were just talking about interdimensional beings a minute ago.
Like so big, you can just grab one and throw it over your shoulder.
What are you doing?
No, actually, I can't. But so I had a question. Robbie answered it. But did you guys hear that Evanescence and Lindsey Sterling did a cover of Ozzy Osbourne's "No More Tears"?
Why?
Who did the cover?
Evanescence, Amy Lee, and Lindsey Sterling.
Why?
That would be interesting.
Good.
They butchered it.
Oh,
Look it up on YouTube. They butchered it.
I'll look it up
I'll
later.
have to say
I only got
It might be
45
on
seconds into the song, and I was like, turn it off.
He watches it.
I got 45 seconds into the concert of them doing that, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, shut it off. This is blasphemy to Ozzy. I don't want to hear it.
Really?
And I like Lindsey Sterling and Amy Lee.
Yeah, I mean they got some good shit out there, but I think nowadays it's just, hey, let's see what else we can butcher. Let's butcher Ghostbusters.
So what song was it?
Butcher Oceans.
No More Tears.
Butcher Star Wars.
Check that.
No more tears.
Let's just, I think it's come down to it. Let's take everything that was good and just completely butcher it.
Can you stop?
Yes, because Lindsay Sterling, she did a cover of Phantom of the Opera, and it was okay, but she changed it to her version of it, and it was all over the place. She didn't follow like, she did a mix of all of the songs for Phantom of the Opera, and it didn't sound right.
Yeah,
She also did
a huge fan of the
soundtrack to Assassin's Creed 3.
Hey, is anybody some?
Is buddy what?
Yep. Done anything with what great song all the time, and I'm gonna mention this. You get shit on it. Have to. Who is remakes Perry Mason by Ozzy? Or technically, Ozzy might be Black Sabbath.
The one that I know of is the No More Tears that was butchered. That's the only one I know of.
You better stop it. I don't even know what song I'm even talking about, is it?
Perry Mason? Yes, I know of it.
Perry Mason is an Ozzy Osbourne song. And I don't recall anybody doing a remake of that.
No one did a remake of Perry Mason.
I know a song. If they butcher War Pigs, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Oh, gosh. I will be too.
I mean, I like War Pigs, but War Pigs had a bad day. Just saying.
Another good one from Ozzy was Mr. Crowley. That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really going to touch that one.
They better not. Oh my goodness. If anybody touches... Yeah, if anybody else touches any other songs of Ozzy's, I am just going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my shit. Because that is...
Kick his ass.
Yeah, I mean, the only remake...
Right, then that's fine.
The only remake that I was aware of, up to this point,
all I have
was remake of an Ozzy song was Changes. And that was when Ozzy and his daughter, they remade Changes.
You know that? 5 times. Hey, princess. Just recently. Yeah, I took it back to the Zelda cartoon. Excuse me, princess.
Yeah, just recently happened the 5th time.
A lot of you guys have been talking over each other, so I get snippets of the conversations of the two people.
Yeah. What I was saying was the only song
that
Ozzy Osbourne. Here we go again. Yeah. The only song of Ozzy's that I know was
Auto-Tune is broke right now. We are trying to make the #1 hit. Our Auto-Tune is broke. Please stand by. I should say, please stand by. Yeah.
Shut up now. I'm going to go get me a pudding.
I'll tell you what. If they ever butcher anything for Rage Against the Machine, I'm going to flip my fucking lid, dude.
They're going to Rage Against the Machine. Am I correct? And you won't even need Zach De La Rocha's help. You will not be calm like a bomb.
They are the greatest band ever.
I beg to differ.
Well, if you listen to their song,
every time I say something epic, the entire internet freezes. That's a problem.
I know.
I just need to talk about fucking Teletubbies and Barney dinosaur pussy and shit. Maybe I wouldn't get censored.
You see, that shit was not censored.
Oh, I came loud and clear.
In my personal opinion, the greatest band ever, and still is in my opinion, is Panic at the Disco.
Ew.
I love Panic at the Disco.
I'd rather the piano version of This Is Gospel.
Oh yeah, the Emperor's New Clothes. That one was a good one.
I still haven't heard that song.
No,
dude, you gotta
I didn't hear Emperor's New Hose, but who knows?
He must not Emperor's New Hose. Doesn't the Emperor get a shipment of new hose like every week or so?
Sure, now continue.
The Batman buzz now depends on how many Darth Vader can receive. Continue.
Yeah. How would that conversation work? He's like, my master, I brought you some hose. And You've sent me there. Take you through now. God, leave us.
Oh my god, that's pretty good. That's good.
Oh, see, that's what Disney should have done with Star Wars.
Yeah, like, I don't know, what do you tell motherfuckers what to do?
He makes the voices tell other motherfuckers what to do. Batman is so epic.
Yeah,
Fuck, send that motherfucker to work for Disney on these Star Wars projects.
Like, all right, what's your order? Only you knew the power of the dark side. So you want to get right, okay? Put that in. Oh my goodness.
Seriously, send this man to work on the next Star Wars, please.
You relax.
Buster.
Oh, just relax.
Ezra, look, I got my kitty.
Oh, this one's what? What are you freaking out at? This is fine. Chill.
Oh, there's another close-up shot of Jimmy pussy because no feminist.
It's about half Harry.
Well, we had Ezra showing off his snake. Genevieve playing with her pussy.
Genevieve, you're lucky my dog is asleep, because if he was like your cat, he would fucking.
Huh? I believe Carcass cat raped in this particular instance.
Oh, here we go. We got Genevieve playing with her pussy. Ezra's playing with his snake. This is like a glorified masturbation session.
What are you doing? What do you think is up there? This is what it was. This is
Battering.
Battering?
It's not there anymore. So,
Ezra, is your cat trying to get your snake?
yes.
Batarangs? I have batarangs.
That sounds kind of...
It's on the bed. It's not.
I have a
It's
feeling
not
that that snake could easily eat that cat.
It's right here. You see it?
I have 700 of those of different metal alloys.
This is the thing you didn't want. You see it? Yeah?
I like weapons.
This is what it was. You're weird.
I don't need weapons because I have half-inch breaker bars.
That works too.
Made he drop his phone.
And 4-foot bolt cutters always work for being drunk and breaking it before.
Just to explore, everybody.
Yeah.
Just to explore.
You're falling off the table.
Remember the time when I got real drunk and went to the top of the tallest skyscraper in Virginia? Well, you weren't there, but that's what I did.
I wasn't there.
But nobody ever got hurt, and I went back, and I passed out somewhere. I don't know where.
So where do we want with this? I think we pretty
We
much
need
we pretty much covered all topics.
That all this is just a giant mass smoke and mirrors cloud for their actual project, which is original depopulation, and I got sense for first. Again.
I got something.
Holy shit.
The key
Middle school principal or sexually assault student.
It happens quite often.
Yeah, where's that anything new?
It's nothing new.
Okay, at least get an extra credit.
Oh, God.
We could always pick religions and talk about the origins of Halloween and Christmas and stuff like that.
Oh, I got one for you. Satanic Temple statue unveiled at Arkansas State Capitol.
Yeah, I saw that.
I got one for you. I got
Well,
one.
Hillary Clinton's been busy.
Oh, shit. That was bad. I got one for y'all, bro. This is an actual news story. Here you go. Attorney Muslim black jihad said if they were white judge, and I'm getting censorious, but judge or states, if they was white and Christian, they want this to be that they kill as well as housing and teaching.
I have to rebut that anything. It was
He's being censored like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Story will not hear from your local alphabetical federally incorporated funded news.
Green as your channels. Now, can I say something? Since I was Soros. Okay. Basically, if it was white and Christian, they would be buried under the jail, and the key would be melted down for scrap metal, either silver or aluminum, depending on the price, because Trump has fixed those industries. Now, continue.
Why are you so paranoid? Why are you so paranoid?
It's like one of those cases, like, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not coming after me.
Yeah.
He's scared of a snake.
I'd be scared of a snake too if I was a kitty. That bitch can eat me whole.
I mean, just trying occasionally evil creatures.
Here's one.
Yeah, they're lawful. Most snakes are lawful evil. How do you know?
That's crazy.
Okay, Grandmaster Evans got something. What do you got, brother?
Russian military spy software is on hundreds of thousands of home routers.
Wow.
No.
Russian spy software is on hundreds of thousands of home routers.
The Russian
I smell a
military
fake I smell a fake here. What is the source of Grandmaster? What is the actual newspaper or news outlet source of this? Because I want to.
It's on. It is on hacker app 2.0. The tech news app.
Yes, I don't know about that, but I will say this.
This kind of story that
Russia's
media
economy is tanking. And
Put it back, okay? Put it back.
What are their
did
reference
anyone
sources?
hear anything I said, or was I cut off?
No, but I would say that Grandmaster Evan cross-reference their sources.
Well, you know, you got this bullshit where they do. Oh well, we link to this other fucking source. The other fucking source is fake news. So, you know, but we're looking at the other fake news. Who credible source is fucking anonymous sources.
Yeah.
If you follow the rabbit hole, you don't stop following. That's the problem.
Well, the thing is, this story might be legit because the app here was created by Mr. Alien, and the original version was taken down by the Google Play Store.
Well, I mean, we should be skeptical of anything Google takes down. I would say that Google takes something down, raise at least one eyebrow, pretend you're the Rock for 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes.
Yeah. Figure out. At some point, you do have to smell what they're cooking.
At some point, you smell what the fuck they're cooking.
You like this?
Okay, well, it says here the Russian military is inside hundreds of thousands of routers owned by Americans.
I'm gonna laugh if I get stuck like this.
Top U.S. security officials said on Friday, there's a Russian malware on router first revealed in May. Could enable the Kremlin to steal individual scale or enlist devices and massive attack that could disrupt global economic activity or target institutions.
Nothing. There's nothing.
I think this is a nothing burger without pickles.
Yeah.
Wow. Nothing.
That's creepy because I was just looking at a hamburger.
A
Yeah, I have several hamburgers and veggie burgers that are all.
Ew, veggie.
Well, what is happening here is this is a dick pixel distraction to say, hey, look over here, because the real fucking hackers, the real bullshit is fucking China.
well, there's work team from Cisco
And they're sticking there. Slowly.
The Cisco Talks reported the incident. Estimated 100,000 devices were worldwide. So at least 5 million victims in almost 60 countries.
Okay, can I get on the soapbox yet?
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Catherine Brewster.
Oh.
Sit down.
We just want to might
well,
call
I'll
it
use
at this
my
point.
soapbox now. The thing is, you ever heard of OLA, which is a VPN program where you can technically access other websites as if you were coming from a different country to get around shit that's censored in your own country?
Yeah.
Everyone understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's kind of the concept I'm talking about, because a lot of this shit they're saying is supposed in Russian this, Russian that, is actually either someone in the U.S. or someone in China or someone else. And they're just using Russia as a scapegoat because Russia is threw off globalist about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So they need to keep this Russia scapegoat thing going, and the only way they can do that is to latch on to, well, they need to create a fake story essentially. But they actually do have CIA operatives doing the whole, well, I'm going to OLA VPN. Maybe not OLA, it's a similar relative. And what they're basically doing is saying, okay, we're going to VPN this shit to make it look like Russia did this. Like the whole election hacking. Well, if you actually go back and look at the bytes, per, the megabytes per second, whatever data that was downloaded, that shit couldn't travel that fast worldwide. That was on a flash drive.
Do you guys remember the
whole Seth Rich thing? It's always still was harping on this the other day, but rightfully so.
Do you guys remember the Riverton ransomware?
Vaguely.
What was your question, Grandmaster?
Do you guys remember?
I didn't hear
Do you guys remember hearing about the Riverton ransomware?
Something
Vaguely.
ransomware.
There's been a lot of ransomwares. I don't remember a particular.
REVETON. Riverton ransomware. A former Microsoft engineer gets chosen for role in Riverton ransomware.
Riverton.
I don't remember that particular one by name. I mean, I remember like Melissa ransomware and I Love You. I remember a lot of
it's an old ransomware, also known as the scareware or the police ransomware, that instead of the encrypting file blocked on the screen is victims' computers display a message pursuing to come from a national law enforcement agency. The splash screen of a malware is designed to also tell uninfected victims that they have been caught doing illegal or malicious activities online, or law enforcement had found illegal material on a computer, forcing them to pay between $200 to $300 for 48 hours to gain access to their computers. But the guy's name is Raymond Ogley Udall, 41, who worked as Microsoft engineer and network engineer, is not the actual author of the ransomware, but helped the distributor residing in the UK and identified as the online moniker king, and cashing out ransom money collecting from victims in the form of screenshots, money back, spirit vouchers, and they made a net worth of about almost $94,000. That's all. It's
Batman asks, when did Fox News?
that would be around about
Like through a commercial.
July 15th, around 10:56.
Of what year?
This year.
Oh, this year.
I must have looked at it for whatever reason. I apologize for on that.
Apparently, Batman must have overlooked that issue while he was in his mass intake of news.
They were using the Liberty Reserve service. Udall then transferred 93,740 accounts for his unnamed computer in the UK, after keeping his 30% cut. The Liberty Reserve was itself closed down by the U.S. authorities in May of 2013, after its creator pleaded guilty in laundering hundreds of millions of dollars through the digital currency exchange since 20 years in prison. In South Florida, U.S. District Attorney on Monday, Udall was given a 18-month prison sentence and 3 years of supervised release after he agreed to a plea deal that dismissed a second count of substantive money laundering. The indictment charged Udall one count of money laundering and one count of substantive money laundering as part of the plea deal. The government dismissed that count, cashed out, and then laundering victim payments. Urban Udagal played a role in an international crime operation that victimized unsuspecting Americans by infecting their computers with this malicious malware. Said Assistant Attorney General Brian Kwiatkowski, Microsoft hired this guy as a network engineer after the conspiracy charges related with the ransomware scheme in the indictment ended.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds like to me, I mean, this might be legit. The thing is, if anybody from Russia was doing anything, they would harp on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they would just jack on every news cycle. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like they have the inward taste.
I've heard something of the Trump. They still say that the Trump inward tape exists. Like they worded it so that we're so stupid that the black lady said no, the Trump inward tape does not exist. But we're so stupid we couldn't understand the way that they technically officially worded it.
They think we're that stupid.
That's what I'm saying. They think we're that stupid.
The chick is a.
We're not what the people are, and therein lies our fucking problem.
She's a plant because I mean she was a fucking media whore and shit. And
she's a plant.
I mean,
because she has ties. She has ties to Bill Clinton, man. She's a fucking plant.
Of course.
Surprise.
The thing is,
surprise. She needs to suck his dick and shit. Oh crap.
I wouldn't want my dick anywhere near that.
Like all these guys being investigated for Russia because they shit.
She's working with Mueller. Wow.
Any of us really that surprised?
I said,
like,
now we're back.
Are we really that surprised?
I'm like down in two bars.
I said something epic.
Go ahead.
Okay, like Manafort, all these other guys, it's like they knew they had dirt on them, but they never prosecuted for them. Prosecuted the money laundering or whatever, and they waited until they got in. Trump got elected to sit there and say, "Oh, by the way, we're going to investigate this motherfucker for such and such that he did 10 years ago." It's like a lot of these guys, I think, might have been plants.
Yeah.
Some of it's witch, but I think some of it's plants.
It's the only way to really look at it.
The mix of the two. It's not.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Well, I see it like this. If she looks like a whore, she's a whore.
Yeah.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. If it looks like a duck and it talks like a duck, you're a liberal because ducks don't talk.
No,
Omarosa was a detention whore.
Yeah.
I'm just a slut.
She got mad. She had her wedding in the Rose Garden. She couldn't be executive vice, assistant, vice president. So she got her panties in a wad. And of course, the Democrats are waiting for anybody to take their side.
Yeah, she thought she was Michelle Obama minus the dick.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have enough balls for this particular incident.
Because they were in her mouth.
Ooh. That's probably true.
I want that image in my head. I really don't. I don't want that image of Hillary Clinton sucking her own balls in my head.
Well, she did win the award for the smelliest pussy for 30 years running.
You know, it took 3 orphans' wives to clean all the spider webs up, I believe.
You got Tin
I gave Tin Man a heart attack. He didn't have a heart. How the fuck did I do that?
Well, if you look at Michelle Obama, she won the dictator contest by his sister and her own deck.
What porn are you been watching?
Is that why there's a shortage of 6-inch rulers? Because it took more than one to measure Michelle?
Yeah, by a mile.
Like, I can't buy a 6-inch ruler at the dollar store anymore because that's not.
Like, I believe it's time to put a little foil on the turkey and go backstage, y'all.
I think we're good, man. I think we're good. Oh, shit. Well, one thing I do want to bring up, this is something I wanted to talk about. The Satanic Temple statue being unveiled at the Arkansas State Capitol. A lot of Christians are pissed off at this. Now, regardless of your religious background or lack thereof, we cannot argue that Christianity has become a prime target of globalist extermination, especially by the left.
Yeah.
And it is in my personal opinion that that these statues, in conjoint with LGBT and everything else correlating with that, feminism, basically anything coming from the left seems to be what is in polar opposite to Christian beliefs and theologies. So it is my personal opinion that all of this might be being done in order to piss off Christians to the point where they get physical, and at which point they now have a pretext to label Christians as not only a hate group, which they've already begun doing, but to eventually label them as a terrorist organization in order for imprisonment and extermination.
They've been doing it for a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
okay, can I step on something?
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. I mean, the supposed idea that the Christianity is anti-LGBT. The fact of the matter is the left is supporting radical Islam, which they're not busy fucking goats, are very fucking busy killing gays.
Yeah.
Or in rooftops. So I would say, take what the mainstream media says with a grain of salt. What really the fuck happening is not what's being reported. If you're hearing a news source, and this is for people just joining, a 3-digit alphabet name, run the fuck the opposite direction as quick as possible. Now I would say this. Technically, in Christianity, there's a forgiveness of even a gay is a sin.
Yeah.
Gayness. Then they're not.
He's getting censored.
Okay. Did I get cut off?
Yeah, you're getting cut off.
Christianity is not like that for an eye. It's not like a thief is just hand cut off.
No.
So the thing is, a Christian's not going to kill a gay person.
No.
Even if they don't agree with the lifestyle. And you have different degrees of Christianity. You've got your Orthodox, your unorthodox, your Catholics. Go figure. Here's the thing. All this thing where the supposed anti-gay rhetoric that they're saying against, from Christians to gays, is not even a drop in the bucket compared to what Muslims are actually doing to gays every day. Then there's a weird double standard. It's like, you can kill as many gay people as you want, but it's okay to have sex with little boys, but not grown men.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole premise here. We don't want to look at. They don't want you to look at all this shit because they're not the target. They're not the target for extermination. Whereas Christians, especially if you believe in the Bible Bible and biblical revelation prophecy, you know, Christians would be the prime target of the satanic New World Order agenda, not the Muslims, and most certainly not the Satanic Catholic Church.
Because the Pope, people that are directly under the Pope, like the number 2 commanders, they have robes, which is a direct symbol of Satan, but you hear from me now.
Yeah.
But
Again, media, don't look at that. Don't look at it. Look at it over here. Get back, Christian. Look back, Christian. Get back, Christian. Destroy the satanic statue. Get back, Christian. Beat up the gay guy.
Red Finger got Bernie Sanders the fuck out of there. You know what I mean?
Red Finger got Bernie Sanders the fuck out of there, Batman.
Yeah, the super delegate said, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then he magically disappeared, and now we have Cock.
Yeah, even if Christians don't do anything, but people can be made to believe that they did do something, that's all it's going to take. If you can convince
okay, guys,
the world.
About 20 seconds, I'm going to be epic.
Okay, well, let me finish what I have to say. If you can convince the world that a Christian or a group of Christians had done something horrific, like, say, a 9/11 type scenario,
What do you say?
it's a done deal. If you can convince the world that a group of Christians or even an individual Christian did something horrific, like, say, like on a 9/11 net level, it's a done deal. Christianity is on the chopping block, ready for its head cut off.
Okay, now I'm over the soapbox, and I'm going to make y'all think for the rest of the week to jump out today. Well, first of all, okay. All right, so here's what's going on. The thing is, Christians in a negative way, but one thing Christianity did that Islam did not do was go through a modernist reformation. We got rid of the barbarians. They got rid of the kill everybody because they had the wrong outfit on. You know, they ate pork on Sunday or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christianity has been going through this reformation back, I would say, what, like 1600s, 1700s, after they stopped burning everybody at the stake and all that bullshit. And you know what happened right the fuck 5 seconds later? Renaissance.
Yep.
Renaissance.
Well, yeah, the Renaissance, but the witch burnings took place up until the late 1800s.
What I'm trying to say, Islam has not gone through this. Islam is like where Christianity was like 800-900 years ago. The problem is, by the time they pulled their head out of their ass, there's a lot of people going to be dead that didn't need to be. And that's the last thing I'll say on this particular paragraph.
Yeah, at which point they give themselves supremacy. We're the one true religion because we stayed true to traditional beliefs, whereas Christianity became a whitewash. Therefore, they must be the enemy. Then you throw in the tension between the Christianity and the LGBT community, and the issues between Christendom and the Satanic Church. You get one motherfucker to do something stupid, whether it's orchestrated or whether it's just one stupid motherfucker. It's not. Christianity goes from being looked at to eliminated.
And if you go back behind 2,000, 3,000 years, you realize that Christianity came out of the ancient Egyptians' religion and then came back and said that, hey, you're a piece of shit, you don't exist, you're false.
Well, that's a side note in and of itself. I mean, you can get into history and theologies all you want, but I'm focusing more on the present here and now, what is. You have a that is not well liked by the left, as per the globalist agenda, and we know the globalist agenda would very much like to do away with Christendom as a whole. At which point, let's just make Christians the new terrorists and get rid of them. And all it's going to take is one motherfucker to do something stupid.
Yeah, they have anyone hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're good.
They have these Christian churches that are just over the whole LGBT issue. They don't discriminate on that basis. And I went to one.
New Life Metropolitan Community Church.
Yeah.
Mr. Dongle passed away, and I got real teary-eyed here his husband about how they met and talking all night and shit. I thought about just a lot of different shit that put my head.
Understandably so.
Got all this hate in the world.
Oh,
I got a short time to be all these people and stuff. And then there's religion throwing gay people off out right.
Yep. It's a crazy world we live in anymore, isn't it?
Yeah. It's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah. Propagating hate. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. We've already lost Ezra. Curtis's camera's off. So.
Yeah, because we're
not going to be gone, though. I mean,
we're having
background issues here.
Yeah, we're having a shit ton of technical issues and censorship. So we're going to go ahead and call it. And I'm going to edit, get this posted. It'll probably be up tomorrow, which will be Sunday. So, on behalf of everyone, thank you all.
What was this about?
Yep. On behalf of everyone, thank you. This is Tin Man with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance.